Hello, hello, Healing in the Kingdom. How are you this afternoon? Boy, we have such an amazing special treat for you. This is our friend Karen, who has been with us for how long have you been with us now, Karen? It's been
Since May, I think.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's been it's
it's been a little while.
Yeah, which is great. And you are such a blessing to us. Karen is now such an integral part of Healing in the Kingdom. She serves on our prophetic intercessory prayer team. And many of you, I know you have had her pray over you or give you a prophetic word, and just so powerful. But today we wanted to just feature her because Karen has had just amazing miracle transformations, testimonies as a result of the time that she has spent with us here at Healing in the Kingdom. So, and one of the programs that she started with us is the Anchor program, which is one of our foundational programs. So we wanted to have her share a little bit about that. So I'm just going to ask you to start with, well, first of all, Karen, thank you for being here. I thank you for taking your time and just
I love being here.
sharing with us. So what kind of things were you struggling with when you first found us at Healing in the Kingdom? What was going on in your life right then?
Well, I had just moved here and in Washington State, and I had some family issues that happened, and it devastated me, and it broke my heart. And I kind of was paralyzed and stuck. I got really sick. I emotionally was just devastated, and I was in a bad place emotionally, spiritually, physically, all of them.
Oh gosh, I know. I think I remember you sharing some of those things on those early calls. Yeah, I know that was a tough place for you. What made you come into Healing in the Kingdom, and in particular joining the Anchor? What was it about that program that you thought was going to help you with breakthrough in this area?
Well, I first saw you in Created to Thrive with Matt Tommy, and you were in the conference. And there was something really neat about you that you talked about the brain and the faith marrying, and that, this perspective in the kingdom that I had not heard before. The brain always has fascinated me, but to put them together was really intriguing to me. And so I started watching your daily. You had the 5 days.
Yeah.
I started watching that, and then one of the girls who I met in Created to Thrive was also in it, and she contacted me about the Anchor, and she said, you might be interested in this part. And there was something about the Anchor that I realized, oh my gosh, it's the mindsets. That's what this is going on. I'm just stuck. And well, I'll just wait until you ask another question.
Yeah, I'm glad you bring this up, Karen, because see, the thing is, a lot of times we don't realize why we're stuck, right? We know we're stuck, we know we're
Mhm.
struggling, but we don't know why. And the download God gave to me for the Anchor and even those different mindsets, it really opens that up. So I want to ask you that follow-up question. So as you joined the Anchor and you started learning about the mindsets, what kind of stuck out to you?
Well, the first thing I thought that I was stuck in was the poverty mindset only. I was sure I didn't have the religious mindset. No, no problem. And then I go through the religious mindset and I'm like, whoa, I think I might have that one too. And then I go through the orphan and the victim, and I'm like, oh, I have them all. And, I'm taking the test and my numbers are very high. So I'm like very humbled. I didn't feel shamed or anything. I felt hopeful, actually. I felt hopeful, like it was identifying the illness.
Yeah.
It was a disease and it was identifying it. I was like, so that was a good aha. It was a good.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. So, as you did the work, right? Because we do a combination
Mhm.
of teaching in that program, and then we do coaching to help you practically. We even lead you through some activations together that help to unlock things. So, how did you see your life change practically? So what kind of practical things did you see? Because it's all well and good to say, well, I dropped the off from these thoughts, but what does that mean in your real life? So share with us a little bit about that.
Okay, so I'll give you an example about the financial. I would just did not matter how much money I had in my checking account. I would look at my checking account, and depending on whether it was a little or whatever, and my bills hadn't been paid, I would get all hot and sweaty and panicked. And I'm like, where is this going to come from? Oh no, oh no. And I had a job, you'd think at least I'd be peaceful there, but I wasn't. And the Lord taught me something in the midst of this. It was in First Chronicles 20, and it was when David was supposed to David was taking the census.
Mhm.
And it says in the very beginning of that chapter that Satan riled him up to do the numbers, to count the numbers. And he, in the middle of the chapter, apologizes to the Lord and said, I'm grieving. I grieved you. I shouldn't have done this. I'm so sorry. And the Lord was teaching me this was about counting and to stop counting, because I was looking at that almost like an idol. Well, I think it was. I was looking at it instead of him, and to look at him. And he is the lifter of my head. And I needed to just keep lifting and looking at his eyes and saying, I trust you. And there were many times where I didn't really truly be deep in me trust him, because I still had that orphan spirit, and I had the religious spirit, the one that says, well, you didn't do it right this time, or you're not doing it well enough, or the orphan spirit, he might not come through this time. Mm-hmm. Those were all acting very loudly in this. And so when he said, don't count anymore, trust me, things began to change. But I have to say those activations really help too.
Yeah.
I'm a visual, I'm a seer, so I can see, but sometimes I wouldn't see anything, but he was still working. He was still rewiring my brain. He was still having my brain go into the purposeful path and out of the stuck one. He was changing my brain. Definitely.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome to hear. Yeah. So you get, with the Anchor program, folks, you get access to 5 activations for orphan mindset, 5 for victim mindset, 5 for poverty mindset, and 5 for religious mindset. And those are like, you get lifetime access to those, even if you join for a month. But do you remember, Karen, any of the activations, or maybe one of the series that was more impactful for you than the others? Like which one really helped you?
I think the orphan one, because I really I felt like I had a relationship with Papa, but I still had a very it's my upbringing was very works oriented. I still have to do something. I still need to please him in some way deeper, or all of that had to go away. It just had to go away.
Yeah, definitely. And now, what do you know about the love of God? What do you know now?
There's no boundaries on it. There's no conditions on it. There's no, he doesn't turn off and on with his, well, you didn't do it. Okay, tomorrow I'll love you more because you will be better. No, he doesn't do that. He's consistent and amazingly graceful. Oh my goodness.
So good.
And his sense of humor. What a great sense of humor he has.
He does have a great sense of humor. People don't realize this about God sometimes, but he does. And of course he does, because we're created with a sense of humor. We're created in his image, right? So that's
like one time I had a client, and she just, I don't know if at the time I had anything in my in my freezer at the time. And this was before I was, counting. I still was counting. And because it has changed since I stopped counting, I have to say I've had a lot of breakthrough. But and she just said, I don't eat scallops. And it was a whole big bag of scallops, like a $50 bag of scallops. She goes, do you like scallops? I'm like, you know, so that, you know, and then another time, the guy at the tire dealership paid for all my tires, you know, all my snow tires were paid for, you know, so there were there's lots. I have a miracle book that Dr. Darlene, you suggested that we get, and it's a little book, and I'm already filling it up. I've got tons of, every day there's a miracle, right? So it's making me see it now, not making me, it's alerting me more.
Yeah, so good. I love that. And I love how you described, you know, the miracles where maybe they came in ways that you weren't necessarily expecting. But when you learn to break free from these mindsets and you're like, okay, well, you know what? The financial blessing, it can be. And I know you had a lot of the direct financial blessings too, where people, you know, would bless you like that. But you also, when you started celebrating, because I remember the scallop story in particular, when you celebrated that, that's when God, like, it was a new level, not only of freedom for you, because yeah, you would, I could tell when it happened, there was like a shift in you. It got to the end of the month and you were like, you know what? God's going to show up for me. And gosh darn it, did he not? Yep. Yeah. Like the next day, the next week or something, you're like, here's what he did. And it was just such a miracle to see that, such a blessing to see that. But it's, you know, you showed up, you did that work, Karen. And I just applaud you for that because it's been amazing. So you also have had some physical healings, right? As a result of breaking free from mindset. Listen, folks, like you guys, I'm going to let Karen share about this in just a minute, but sometimes you come in here and we talk about this, contending for physical healings. And, you know, the Lord is inviting you to a deeper place with him to break free from some of these mindsets. And then that allows you to be able to receive your healing. But Karen, go ahead and share with us some of those, because there's just so many wonderful testimonies around that too.
Well, I think one of the major ones is that my dog, Izzy, was keeping me up at night for like 3 months. And I took her to the vet and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with her. And we had her on the prayer chain. And then finally, out of the blue, this one doctor checked her mouth and she had 6 abscesses in her mouth.
Oh my goodness.
Which you should take those teeth out, right? That's normal procedure. But guess what? We just all prayed. She's sleeping just fine. And some of it too, Dr. Darlene, you kind of called my attention that maybe she may be alerting you to something going on in the spirit as well.
Yes.
Because there was some of that. I happen to live next door to something that there is a lot of spiritual activity. I don't think it's I know there's witchcraft. And just recently, I asked someone to pray for the force field to be larger in my bedroom so that none of it comes in, and now we've prayed that, she's sleeping like all the time. It's amazing. She's very sensitive to those things in the spirit. Yeah. Okay, so and then the other was I went to the eye doctor a couple months ago and my vision's better.
Praise God.
And glaucoma was diagnosed a year before and there's no sign.
Amen.
My gut physically you can see there's healing in that. And my spine, this is something that I saw last week or 2 weeks ago in heaven. I saw that, the creative, there's like a warehouse of all parts in heaven. And I saw this spine. And I had been diagnosed with scoliosis and I have had very much pain in my back. It hasn't stopped me, but it hurts. And I saw this spine and I grabbed it out of heaven. And I said, I claim this spine. This is my spine. And yesterday I went to an HIT class, which is where you're boxing and you're kicking and you're doing all this. And I just did it because it was free and I wanted to check it out. And it was like, I don't think I'll keep doing this. But I was kicking away and I went, oh my gosh, somebody with this disease wouldn't be kicking like this. I'm getting healed. Oh my gosh. And the thing that he keeps reminding me is to say, no, wrong address, enemy, I've been healed. Wrong address, I've been healed. I've said that before, but he's reminding it again.
Yes, that is so good. I love that, Karen. I mean, so many wonderful healings of mindset, healing in your body, even for your puppy. So your puppy didn't have to have that surgery then?
Not as far as we know yet. I have to get
Yeah.
one more, checkup, but
Yeah,
she's
she's
through it.
sleeping through the night. So good, so good. Well, what a blessing. Well, what would you say to somebody who's in here and they've been maybe contending for healing and they think, well, I'm not really sure that that's going to help me. What would you say to them?
I would say that something like this is vital in that there is a community and you connect with all these people and you make good friends. I mean, there are people here, all of them, that I just love with, I mean, it's family.
Yes.
But listening to other people's testimonies and their struggles and what Dr. Darlene advises them in the coaching, we learn just as much when other people are speaking and asking questions as we do on our own questions.
Yeah.
So I would highly recommend being part of it. You will see a difference. You will feel a difference. You will hear a difference.
Awesome. So good, Karen. Thank you so much for sharing your amazing testimonies. There's so many. It's so good. It's just, and you are such a blessing to our community too. We're grateful for you. And for those of you on here, you may not, we're about to release this for you guys for the next few days. But as you know, I had a workshop with my book signing last Saturday. It was such a powerful time. And because of the book launch, we're running specials right now on some of our programs here at Healing in the Kingdom. And the Anchor is one of the programs we have on special. So that's normally, it's a subscription. It's $150 a month, but we've lowered it now just for the next few days, just until Friday. You can get that for $122 a month, and that price is good for a whole year. Okay. So I encourage you, if you are thinking about the Anchor program, go get signed up for that. You get the whole vault of videos on all of those different mindsets. Plus, you get coaching twice a month. I do some coaching. Our Freedom Minister, Jan Tatsutani, does some coaching as well. And we help you to practically break free from these things. You will hear encouraging testimonies as well. But you have to, if you want that special pricing, you've got to get signed up by this Friday. If you want to go ahead and sign up today, Jan has a coaching session on Thursday. My next coaching session is on Monday. So you can step powerfully into your healing the way Karen has shared that she has stepped into her healing, even in some areas that she didn't even know she needed healing from. And that's the thing. So powerful. So Karen, again, thank you for being here. We just bless you as you go today. Anyone in here, if you have questions about the Anchor program, please feel free to post those. And those of you that say, hey, yes, I want what Karen has, go on over there. Hannah's got those links posted so you can go ahead and join, go get signed up. And thank you for being here, everyone. We will join us tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern for our live session. We're going to be talking about the fact that delayed healing is not denial. So that is a big topic. So be here with us for that. All right, everyone, take care. Have an amazing, blessed day. Bye-bye.